So first of all, just who am I? So I'm responsible for the G-Cloud program itself, for the overall strategy, future direction of the program, and also responsible for, amongst many other things, the digital marketplace program. So, in a nutshell, in simple terms, we are helping people across the public sector transforming public services by making it simpler and clearer and faster for them to buy what they need. So, as Stuart said, 3 years ago, on 19th of February 2012, there was a revolution in government procurement. The public sector had a new way to buy cloud services that had never been seen before. A new way that was built on openness and transparency. A new way that made it easier for SMEs to do business across the public sector. This was supported a year later by the Cloud First policy, where central government departments were mandated to consider cloud services before any other options. So G-Cloud itself has also been praised for leading other European countries when it comes to transforming the way government uses the cloud, and internationally, Vivek Kundra, the ex-White House CIO, believes that an open market framework like G-Cloud could be the new model for how governments across the world procure technology. But why? What makes it so different? It's faster. A like-for-like comparison shows that the time taken to place a contract through G-Cloud, from start to finish, identifying requirements first, is 18 days. To run that similar contract through the OJU process is 171 days. So if you've got over 160 days to spare, go down the OJU route. Personally, I wouldn't bother. So buyers don't have to go through the lengthy and painful OJU process. We've done that for them. People transforming public services can get access to cloud services when they need them, now, not 6 months later. It's utterly pointless to adopt agile ways of working if the project is brought to a halt because it takes 6 months to then get a contract in place to buy the cloud services needed. So, for example, Public Health England used Cahoots, speaking to Department of Health, who had already been using it, tested it with a free trial, and then within 3 days from the instructions to proceed, they then had the system up and running. It's cheaper. I think it's pretty much a given that cloud services are cheaper than traditional ways of buying things. Don't need to buy tin, don't need to rent servers, don't need to pay large companies to run your services for you. So it is, apologies, my voice is starting to go. So it is the answer to 10-year contracts that stop the public sector taking advantage of the latest technology innovations. An independent review we carried out last year showed that there's a 50% saving, efficiency saving for using G-Cloud. Also, the cost of running an OJU is estimated at £23,000. So just simply using G-Cloud will save 23. Every single order that goes through G-Cloud has the potential to save £23,000 in admin costs. That doesn't mean to say that's turkeys roasted for Christmas, cutting staff and so on, but what it could do is free people up in procurement teams, in commercial teams, to spend much more time on pre-market engagement and contract management rather than spending all the time just letting contracts. There's more to buy. There are now nearly 20,000 services available with the launch of G-Cloud 6, of which over 10,000 are new. There's more suppliers to buy from. Again, nearly 2,000 suppliers on the digital marketplace, and 87% are SMEs. And again, with G-Cloud 6, there's 516 new suppliers on the framework. There's also been 4 or 5 years ago, the majority of IT suppliers were based around London and the corridor down to the Isle of Wight. Now, they are spread. Now they're spread UK-wide, which is good for the public sector, as they have access to a larger number of new and innovative suppliers who have never had the opportunity to work with government before. And it is good for local economies who will benefit from suppliers in their regions doing more business with government. And we know it's good for suppliers themselves, as many SMEs have seen large increases in their workforce, as new jobs have been created as a direct result of sales that they've made through G-Cloud framework. More suppliers are selling. Over the past 18 months, the number of suppliers making sales has tripled. It's tripled from 161 to 455, and the number of SMEs making sales has also tripled from 113 to 355. And one particular firm, I2N, their turnover increased from £500,000 in 2011 to £3.5 million today, again, as a direct result of their G-Cloud sales. More people are buying. The number of buying organisations, again, has grown by 2/3 over the past 18 months, from 265 to 696. More money is being spent. The average, as Francis Board announced the other day, total sales have grown by 798% over the past 18 months to 431.2 million. And average monthly sales have increased by 381% from 7.4 to 35.8 million. Now, there has been some speculation around the future of G-Cloud and whether we are trying to get rid of it, sweep it under the carpet, as some people have said, get rid of the name. All I would say is read the headline and the small print. We're not. So, what are we doing? What I want to do is to build on the success of the G-Cloud model and make it simpler, easier and faster for people who are transferring public services to buy what they need. We want to encourage a competitive marketplace. We want to stimulate a responsive, evolving market that contains the right range of products and services, the right people to provide products and services, the right price and value against products and services, and then helping quality and innovative suppliers to work with government through the right set of frameworks. So the digital marketplace then is a catalogue, it's a list of services you can buy and suppliers who you can buy them from. At the moment, it is just one framework, it's just G-Cloud, but in longer term it will provide more services. The digital services framework will be made available before Easter. But the real success from the catalogue will be when buyers no longer worry about which frameworks that they need. It's self-service. It's a self-service tool that supports the end-to-end buying process. Anyone should be able to use it. And it's a platform, a model for commissioning, a model for how commissioning can be open, fair and transparent for buyers and suppliers. The digital marketplace is one of the key services that underpins the whole of the transformation of public services. So we have made some changes to make sure that it does meet user needs. And again, you don't necessarily need to believe me when I say that it's much better than what it was. There was an article written in Channel Pro that clearly shows the functionality of the digital marketplace is far superior to Cloud Store. It's no surprise that with the past two iterations of G-Cloud 4 and 5, the Cloud Store went down for 5 days while we had to fix it. It didn't go down at all with G6. So we will continue to iterate and improve the marketplace so it becomes a fully digital by default commissioning platform covering end-to-end process and able to be used by both central government and the wider public sector. User needs will be at the heart of its design. In the same way that the GDS transformation programme is designing services so good that people will choose to use them, so the digital marketplace will be an exemplar that buyers will want to use for commissioning goods and services. Now, I do agree that we need to do more to increase awareness of the digital marketplace and G-Cloud. There's quite an encouraging report the other day around MPs and how many of them are aware of the benefits. But there's various surveys have been carried out. Excuse me. So there is more that we do need to do to get the word across the public sector. We're doing this based around 3 principles: discover, learn, and buy. Discover, understanding how users find out about the digital marketplace and how suppliers can sell their services to government through it. Learn, about helping buyers and suppliers understand what they need and create champions who can go and win the hearts and minds of their peers, creating a wider engagement team working through communities. And then buy, creating a clear process that is digital by default and providing educational material online. This will increase awareness of the digital marketplace across the public sector and support commercial teams so that frameworks are used properly. In parallel with expanding the functionality of the digital marketplace, we're working with Sarah and her team to explore what other frameworks might be included on it. As I mentioned, the Digital Services Framework, that will be made available through the marketplace before Easter. As we start doing that, we will then truly begin to deliver the vision of providing one place for the public sector to go to find and buy from the best innovative suppliers that they need to design and deliver digital services. Digital commissioning frameworks themselves must be designed to meet user needs, the right products, the right quality, the right commercial models, and so on. So again, Sarah and I have agreed that that they should meet a common standard. The standard's already there around the GDS design principles, so we're working together so future digital IT frameworks will meet those standards. The digital marketplace will support self-service buying by making commissioning simpler, clearer and faster through the creation of an end-to-end service that, as I said, is digital by default and fully compliant with procurement regulations. We do know that the one thing that frightens commercial teams more than anything is doing something wrong, ending up with legal challenge, successful legal challenge, and end up in court. So through the digital marketplace, we'll provide that reassurance that it is compliant by default. There's nothing to worry about in using it. We'll also help suppliers and buyers to better understand the market by publishing how the digital marketplace is being used by the public sector, i.e. work out loud with full, detailed, open data. There will be on the marketplace, there are a set of suppliers dashboards, and the amount of information available to suppliers around who has searched your services and so on will be made available. So we'll provide stronger communities by providing a way to connect people transforming public services and communities of relevant experts. Why? Well, really, the answer is a no-brainer. It's about saving money for the taxpayer by continuing to drive costs out, efficiency in, and expose departments to the type of private sector innovation that they should be investing in. It's about providing access for innovative suppliers and continue to support and encourage growth in the SME marketplace. To match demand to supply with minimal friction for all parties, and so save time, and again to reduce the risk of a successful legal challenge by being compliant by default. Or to put it another way, helping those transforming public services by making it simpler, clearer and faster for them to buy what they need. Thank you for listening, and thank you for putting up with what is an incredibly croaky voice.